This is Mags on Media, and we continue now with some groundbreaking creative work from around the world. The Wyden and Kennedy Portland Agency creating a dramatic cinematic ode to air in a new spot for the sports brand Nike to punt its new Vapor Max Air shoes. And Japanese food brand Glyco celebrating how much we can fit into the average expected lifespan of 71.8 years through an insanely coordinated ad. It features 72 actors playing the same character from life through to death.
When Sarah was born, we braced ourselves and we found a form. And while the winter was cold, we lit the fire and we took the gold. Now our life is beginning. It's time to say goodbye to the feeling. Now our life is beginning. It's time to say goodbye. When Lucy came round, there was a build-up first and an eerie sound. But we kept our heads high, we cleared the air and we let it fly. Now our life is beginning. It's time to say goodbye to the feeling. Now our life is beginning. It's time to say goodbye. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands.
Spend 150 Rand at Checkers and get your free...
Building on its massively successful Little Shop Mini Collectibles campaign, the giant retailer Checkers is launching a new one. It's called Little Gardens. This new iteration sees customers being rewarded with miniature, environmentally friendly seedling kits. And the retailer says it's hoping to encourage children and adults to go outside and spend quality time together and gain a better understanding of what goes into growing fresh produce. Well, nothing wrong with that. Here now is Billy Peters, General Manager for Marketing at the ShopRite Group. A very warm welcome. Before we talk about the strategy, what exactly have you developed here?
Yeah, as you mentioned, this built on our Little Shop campaigns that we ran in 2016 and 2017. It's a collectible promotion that worked nicely for us. It resonated with customers. We got very positive customer feedback. And we wanted to build on something like that. We didn't want to do Little Shop again. I think we run the risk of a little bit of collectible fatigue if you did that. So we had to ask ourselves, what's next? And this came across our table. We looked at it and we said, this makes a heck of a lot of sense to us. We liked the idea, and this is where Little Garden was born. What this basically is, it work exactly the same mechanics as Little Shop. So for every 150 Rand you spend at Checkers, you will get one of these little seedling kits. And it really is quite simple.
So this is at the till. It will be given to you at the till point.
100% at the till point. So the cashiers all have what we call flow packs, or a box with these. And for every transaction of 150 Rand or more, actually every 150 Rand you spend, you get one of these. So a transaction of 300 Rand will get you two, and then the iterations.
And Billy, what sort of seedlings are we talking about here?
We've got 24 different seedlings. So we've got some flowers, we've got some herbs, we've got some veggies. So under the veggies, you'll find that we have lettuce, there's cabbage there's tomatoes there. We've got rocket, watercress, cornflower, snapdragon under the flower. So there's 24 different ones of them.
It all goes to the debate around sustainability and environmental awareness. Why is it important then for your brand to latch onto this?
Yeah, I think it's important if we look at this to teach kids especially, and I think actually adults as well, about food sustainability and about looking after the environment. And
I would suggest that kids probably know more about it these days than adults do, but that's my view. Yeah.
100%. And if we can help drive that message, it'll help a lot. These little units, if I break it out, if I can just show, you'll see like the little pot.
Are you going to mess my table here? You are, aren't you?
If I may make a giant mess, I'm actually going to do it. So I'm going to show how this works. So this is what you'll get from the cashier, consisting of, it's a biodegradable pot. So you'll grow your seedling in this. In that, you'll also find a little soil pod. So this is what will form the basis of what your seed will grow in. You've got a little sheet here with the sheets in it. You get a little sticker. So in this case, it's green beans. What you also get is a little tag in there to write your name on, the date that you planted it on, and what it is. So what I want to do is show you how it works. So biodegradable. This is
Since
also,
you've done this once or twice before, but
so I've done this before.
knock yourself out, yeah?
So let's see. Okay, so what you do is you take a little bit of water, and this is where the mess comes in. This looks fairly innocuous. It's a little soil pot. If you water it, immediately what you see, it starts growing, it expands. What happens is this forms a basis. So essentially you get a little, let's call it a compost heap that you're going to use to plant your little seed in.
You're just showing off now anyway.
Well,
what would have happened if that didn't work? You would have been very embarrassed.
No, I tested it and I would have looked like an idiot, but I wouldn't put myself in that position.
So then you put that in the biodegradable
Correct. So what you do then is you take, call it 2/3, roughly 2/3, you put that in there. I'm going to do it nice and messy. Okay. And then you take your seed, you put that on top of that. And then the last 2/3 you just put on top of your little seed and just compress it lightly, not too much because the seedling's going to battle to grow. And then the last little bit of water.
Your little name tag.
And your little name tabs, you write on there. In this instance, it says chives at the back and right, put it in your box and you're good to go.
What are you going to do about the mess on my table now?
We
have other guests coming.
I will happily.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm just kidding. What I want to ask you, though, is there's an interesting subtext here as well, because what you're also doing, and I'm assuming this will be part of your strategy, is that by hooking kids in young, you're also hopefully creating customers for the future.
Yeah, I think
so. Is that part of the thinking, or is that just a byproduct?
I think it's probably a byproduct, I think if people enjoy these things, we've seen with Little Shop 1 and 2, is that people do come back to buy them, and with this, hopefully, it'll be similar. So there is a degree of hopefully building loyalty for the future. The younger generation is obviously what will be your future shoppers. So if you can hook them in now, then it's a byproduct. But I don't think that's, at this stage, it's certainly a secondary consideration.
Do brands these days, I wonder, have any choice but not to climb onto this environmental bandwagon? If you're not seen to be doing something responsible, then you can potentially take a hiding. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we've done the whole campaign around recyclable straws, for instance.
Yeah, 100%.
You have no choice these days, do you?
Yeah, I mean, also specifically in the age of social media, you absolutely have to, as a business, we have a responsibility to do that. And as you say, you can't shy away from that. You need to look at different facets of your business. Like we're moving to fully recyclable bags, our shopping bags made with recyclable material. That's another aspect, as an example, that we're looking at. That's where we're moving towards, because we do recognize, as you say, is that you can't stick your head in the ground like an ostrich.
My chives haven't started growing yet, Willie. I'm very disappointed about that.
I'm going to need some magic water to make that happen.
I thought you'd pull some magic water with you. What is the long-term commercial intention here? Is it simply to create some brand awareness around your commitment to sustainability, or is it to get people behind trolleys in your stores?
Look, I think it's multifaceted, and I think it is a bit of both. I do think it has proven to be successful for us in the past. It's been a good campaign. I think the fact that we're running an iteration of our little campaigns.
So how do you measure the success of a campaign like this?
You can see it in the sales. So we have a look at the sales and we analyse, and there is incremental sales, the quantum of which I can't discuss. It's obviously quite sensitive in nature, but it is beneficial to us. But I also think then some of the spin-offs related to this is there, and there you build a degree of loyalty. And as you say, also the perception around sustainability, specifically in this campaign, is a good secondary spin-off.
And woe betide if you don't get distribution right, because unless the cashiers have these things on hand when that child and parent are there, you're in trouble.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're fortunate that we have a world-class distribution system. So our own distribution system, we've handled the distribution of this. We also have a world-class partner that assists us with doing this. They specialize in these kind of programs. And we ensure, trust me, we've procured a hell of a lot of these things. We make sure that they last. You don't want to be in a position that 3 weeks into the promotion, you get to a cashier and you go, well, sorry, sir, but we don't have any more. So we've made sure that this will last as long as the campaign runs.
It's a clever marketing campaign. Willie Peters, GM Marketing at the Shoprite Group. Thank you very much indeed. This is Mags on Media when we continue. Coming up, why a major sports brand created 30,000 personalized videos, and I'll also show you a new media concept. It's called Massive Metro.